that dessert back in the back corner back there? No? Is that dessert back in the back corner? Okay, dessert's back there in the back corner. For you who don't know that. I want 4, please. 4. Gluten-free? You could do that for me? How many of you know how long this instructional unit has been around? 51 years. Started under different names. The original people that formed this organization built a foundation for a wall. In the years that passed after that, each new group of officials that came in built the wall. The wall was this high, and then it got to this high, and then it moved further into the South County. Then it went out to 56th Corridor, and it included from high school to junior college to youth ball to rec ball. It grew. It built upon itself. The board got together and began to talk about the past early on in this season, as we started talking about what and who we were. It became very apparent that our association hasn't reflected on its past. And so we, as a group, decided, well, how does it do that? Well, in our Constitution and our bylaws, it allows us to, as a board, to, and as individuals, to come before the association and present and request individuals that have impacted our association as a whole and impacted the game of basketball as a whole in the North County. As most of you know, I came before you as a representative of the board with names of 6 individuals who basically were involved in the building of this association. When I reflect back on my officiating career, I started in '82. Okay, if you are running numbers and you say, Ken, you just got an award for 20, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I took some years off, but when I started in '82, you get this classroom stuff and they give you all this, and then they throw you out in the court. Oceanside Community Center, men's rec, my first games. Not the most friendly place for somebody who doesn't know how to officiate. And as we all know, we don't know how to officiate when we're in a classroom. And so I get to my game, my partner calls me and says, you're going to come early. What? You called? Yeah. He called me, and I went, and for 30 minutes he told me what I could do and what I couldn't do. And what I remember about those games is, number one, I got out alive. From there, I remember about the time and the effort he put in to make me able to survive on the court that night. It's not like youth ball. These are adult men yelling at you. So it was, he built me up so I would survive that night. The people we honor tonight are builders within the NCBOA. They've been around a long time. They have credentials that are bar none the best that we have. They have done many things, but ultimately they're the same individuals that started this association. They're builders. They built it up, and each generation of officials are builders. Tonight we're here to honor them. The first honorary member that was supported by the association as a whole is Goff. For outstanding service to the basketball community of North County and to the NCBOA. His credentials are as follows. He's been a member of the NCBOA for 45 years. He started in 1971. He served as the assigner for 28 years. As part of that responsibility, he did rule interpretation for assistant basketball officials. He was liaison to coaches, to athletic directors, and to the CIF. He sat on the committee for 5 years for the California State Regional Committee that hosted and handled the officiating for the state playoffs. Who knows how many hundreds or thousands of basketball games, other than maybe his wife. It's countless. State playoffs, regionals, CIF. He's just been around a long time, for 45 years. Lastly, Carl has developed, guided, encouraged, mentored, growled at every one of us, and even kicked our tails when they had to be kicked. For the NCBOA. He's probably touched the hearts of many of us. He's officiated football, baseball, nope, 2 years, softball, volleyball. Ultimately, he's given everything he could to high school and athletics and officiating. Carl is the best representative we could ever find as our first honorary member to the NCBOA. No, not Sandy. No new school, no old school building. We thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm not going to stand and say speech. Yes, I am. Keep your arbiter updated.
I would like to present the next honorary member for the association, Dal Williams. No, the other bald guy. He's been a member. He was a member of the association for 31 years. He started in 1978. He served as NCBOA president for 5 years, vice president for 1, and instructional chairman for 7. He also has worked countless games, from playoffs to states. He went to state, how many times? Once? One time to the state finals. He became state certified women's basketball official in 1981. He's worked junior college, D2, D3 in Southern California. He became a Division I women's basketball official in, wild guess, a long time ago. He worked in the Big West, the Pacific Coast Conference, the West Coast Athletic Conference, and the Western Athletic Conference. He's worked in the conference tournaments for the WAC and also the Big West. He worked in the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament in 1989 and 1991, which included a trip to the regional semifinals. In the men's side, we call that the Sweet 16. And he was inducted into the San Diego Officials Hall of Fame this last fall. His experience has led many of our officials that were inspired to go beyond high school. As a mentor, as somebody they could look at and say, that's where I want to go. And he took them by the wings and said, this is how you do it. And he showed them the path. And for the achievements and the respect he has brought to our association, Dal Williams, our honorary member. Thank you.
Now, the one person that I really want to thank is my wife. Because she traveled for over 20 years to every D1 game that I worked, unless I was flying away on an airplane. She went to Hawaii with me. And she's the one that encouraged every wife to make sure your husband works hard so he can get into working college ball. And it's really great. You get to go to Irvine. You can go to Long Beach State, that's South Coast Plaza. You can go to Fullerton, that's Berea Mall. It really is a neat deal. And then they'll take you out to dinner afterwards. So, sweetheart, thank you so much for... I've never would have done it without your support.